Hey Facebook, Steve Sanson, President of Veterans of Politics International. And I'm out here court observing again. I'm at the Regional Justice Center on 200 South Lewis. And we're out here getting ready for the 2026 election, where all the district court judges, I think there was about 86 of them within the state of Nevada, and several of the Las Vegas Justice of the Peace municipal court seats and 2 Supreme Court seats that are up. So what we want to do is go to these different courtrooms and court observe. And we did 3 today. And today we went to Arthur Ritchie Jr.'s courtroom. Now, Judge Ritchie's been on the bench since 1999. I've known him the whole time he was on the bench for the past 26 years. Within that 26 years, Judge Ritchie was the chief judge. And while he was the chief judge, back in, I think, 2008, he reprimanded Judge Susan Johnson. Why did he reprimand Judge Susan Johnson? He reprimanded Judge Susan Johnson because Judge Susan Johnson talked to the media without his authorization. So he reprimanded her for that. Apparently, you got to go through some type of channel to do that. I don't know. Or maybe he was a little bit egotistic at the time. Who knows? Or narcissistic. Who knows? And he wanted Judge Johnson to go through him before she talks to the media about security concerns in the courthouse. Also, back in 2008, Judge Ritchie, he appointed Jeannie Winkler. I don't know if you know Jeannie Winkler. She was an attorney that was suspended for misappropriation of over $200,000. Anyways, Judge Arthur Ritchie appointed her as a special master to one of the custody cases. Now, I don't know. Maybe his decision making at the time when he did these 2 things weren't good. Who knows? Or maybe he felt that he was too big for his britches. Who knows? But let me tell you something about Judge Arthur Ritchie. Judge Arthur Ritchie, he's got a brilliant mind. I gotta say. I gotta give him props for that. He's been doing this for 26 years. And in the 26 years, he only had one challenger. And that was in 2014, which was Keith Lyons. Keith Lyons challenged him in 2014, and apparently he lost to, Keith Lyons lost to Judge Ritchie. Judge Ritchie was appointed in 1999. Now let me tell you something. Judge Ritchie, in the 26 years Judge Ritchie has been on the bench, he only had one challenger in the 26 years. What does that say? I don't know. Does that say he's doing a good job? Or does that say that you attorneys out there are shitless? You don't want to challenge him for whatever reasons. Now, I know this. I know when I was in his courtroom today, along with Stephanie Phillips, he had 2 attorneys in his court. He had 2 litigants in his courtroom. And check this out. Both litigants have attorneys, but none of the attorneys was present. I don't know what that was about. Usually when you have attorneys, you show up to court. Without your attorneys, the judge would continue the case. But he didn't do it with this one. But let me tell you something. I just want to keep talking about Judge Ritchie, because there's a lot of things that's going on with Judge Ritchie in his courtroom, especially in the Tara Kellogg case with Judge Ritchie's buddy, what's his name? Let me think. He's a lawyer. Alex Gabato. You know Alex Gabato, the guy that got suspended, the attorney that got suspended a bunch of times with the state bar. Him and Judge Ritchie are buddies. You know what? I don't even think Judge Ritchie should even take a case with Gabato's name on there. But he does it anyways. But this is what Judge Ritchie has done to Tara Kellogg, which is pathetic. He fails to hold people in contempt of court for violating his court order. Let me say that again. Judge Ritchie fails to hold people in contempt of court when they violate his court order. Now, what do I mean by this? Alex Gabbado owes Tara Kellogg, I don't know, over $500,000, and Judge Ritchie has never sanctioned him, okay? He has never made him pay. I don't know what the hell is going on. Why would Judge Ritchie do that? He doesn't hold Alex Gabbado in contempt of court. He doesn't try to take away his bar license. He doesn't do anything to this guy. Now, this is how people become disenfranchised with the system. And every time Kellogg files a motion to have Gabbado pay child support or what have you, Judge Ritchie doesn't even give her attorney's fees for that, which is pathetic. So he doesn't award attorney's fees. He doesn't hold people in contempt for violating his court order. That means his court order is like nothing. It's just a piece of crap. It doesn't mean anything. So all you people that are in Judge Ritchie's courtroom and you have a court order, don't worry about it. Because he's not going to do anything if you're in contempt. Don't you worry about it. Also, let's see. Judge Ritchie relies mainly on third-party entities such as child support enforcement, such as Nevada State Bar, such as the Supreme Court. It's like he can't make a decision without somebody else making the decision for him. Now, let me tell you something. He has a brilliant mind, so I don't know why he doesn't use it a little bit more. Now, this is another thing. Judge Ritchie has problems with people coming into his courtroom and getting videos. He likes to seal cases. For whatever reasons, I don't know. Maybe to protect his own bad behavior. I mean, usually, when judges want to automatically seal cases, and they let the plaintiff or the respondents seal cases without any kind of just cause, what does that mean? He's got Tara Kellogg's case sealed. And the child, the only time you're supposed to seal a case is when you have an underage child and you're talking about the minor. But her child is over the age of 18 years old. Why is cases still being sealed? Why are cases being prolonged? Some cases, you have the kid, almost 6, 7, 8 years old, and all of a sudden they're 18 years old. Why does these cases take so long to be dismissed? Why does these cases take so long to be closed? Why are these cases sealed? These cases don't need to be sealed, Judge Arthur Ritchie, or any judge out there. Why do you seal these cases? You seal cases to protect your own bad behavior. That's why you do it. Because it doesn't make any sense to do it for any other reason. Now let me tell you this. The word on the street is Judge Ritchie was going to retire after 27 years. It'd be 27 years next year. Judge Ritchie was going to retire, but according to Judge Ritchie, and I got to thank him, he did take time out of his courtroom to give me a conversation about 10, 15 minutes. That was great. But I learned a lot in that 10 or 15 minutes. I learned this. Judge Ritchie wants power. Has to have power. Maybe that's why he chewed out Judge Susan Johnson for talking to the media about security concerns in the courtroom back in 08. He's got to have power, okay? He's already vested. He's been vested, okay? That means he's already PERS. He's got his PERS. He's going to get his money. He can stay home and make several $1,000s a month without even a blinking of an eye. He don't need to be here. Judge Ritchie, he might not leave. He says that he may retire or he might not retire, but he should retire. 26 years is a long time. You get that black robe syndrome and you just think that your shit don't stink. Now let's move on. We were in Dawn Thorne's courtroom, okay? Throne's courtroom. She had a sealed case. Marshall kicked us out. That was fine. We're going to go back and we're going to visit her another day. But check this out. Now, her husband has been going on, her ex-husband now. I forget his name, Jack Throne, I don't remember. He's been going on Facebook saying that his ex-wife, Dawn Thorne, the reason why he got a divorce is because she was sleeping with one of the courtroom marshals. Would you believe that? A judge is sleeping with a marshal in the courthouse. You know, this has been going on for a long time. Judges like that convenience. They like to sleep with their marshals, some of them. I don't know why. Marshals, your job is to protect the judge, not stick anything in them. Okay? That's your job. Protect your judge. And the reason why I word it like that is because the male marshals are sleeping with the female judges. That's why I word it like that. Judges, female judges out there, your job is to have the marshal protect you, not to give you pleasure. Do you understand? Do not sleep with the marshals, because if you do, people will know about it. Because you know, they like to brag. Yo, do you know I slept with that judge? And you're a marshal. And it goes like firecracker in that courthouse. It's like a college campus sometimes. So, Dawn Thorne, your ex-husband is saying that you slept with a marshal at the courthouse. Matter of fact, there was litigation pending, and there was lawsuits and all that stuff going on out there. This is a rumor that's being said. I don't know how true it is, but a lot of people are talking about it. You probably want to put a kibosh on that. Now, the last courtroom we went to today was Las Vegas Justice of the Peace, Diane Sullivan. Diane Sullivan, I've known her ever since she took that bench 16 years ago. I think she's doing a marvelous job, and we'll find out more about what she's doing. But there was a parties in front of her, and they were verbally saying that, hey, you know, the defense did this, did that, did this, did that, but they had no proof to back it up. People, when you go in a courtroom, when you run your mouth, especially you attorneys, when you run your mouth, make sure you have evidence to back up what you say. This is just a word of advice. You have verbal, make sure you have physical. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Diane Sullivan, great job. Keep doing what you're doing. This is Steve Sanson, President of Veterans in Politics. Until next time.